All right, guys, we're going to talk about or go over our study guide. Our skill this week was NBT 4, addition and subtraction, multi step word problems. So let's look at number one. Janet's team raised $65,714. Jennifer's team raised $33,487. How much more did Janet's school raise than Jennifer's? Now, in this problem, I know how much money Janet's team raised, $65,714. I also know how much money Jennifer's team raised, $33,487. Now, my question is asking me basically to compare the amount of money Janet's team raised to the amount of money that Jennifer's team raised. And I know that Janet's team raised the most money, so I've got to figure out how much more. And the way to figure that out is to simply subtract the two totals. So take Janet's total, 65,714, minus from that 33,487. Okay, in our ones place, there's more on the floor. So I go to 1, make it a 0, 4 becomes 14. 7 from 14 leaves me with 7. Okay, in the tens place, there's more on the floor. Go next door, 7 becomes 6, 0 becomes 10, and 8 from 10 is 2. Then I go to my hundreds place, there's more on top. Do not stop, 6 minus 4 is 2. In my thousands place, there's more on top. Do not stop. 5 minus 3 is 2. And in my 10,000s place, there's more on top. Do not stop. 6 minus 3 is 3. So, to answer our question, how much more did Janet's school raise than Jennifer's, we can say Janet's school raised $32,227 more dollars. Okay, so number two, a pair of elephants weighed 3,546 pounds together. The African elephant weighed 1,234 pounds. How much did the Indian elephant weigh? How much more did the Indian elephant weigh than the African elephant? Now, notice in this problem, there are two questions. First, we have to find out how much the Indian elephant weighed. And second, how much more did the Indian elephant weigh than the African elephant? Now, I know a couple of things. I know it tells me a pair of elephants weighed 3,546 pounds together. A pair means two. Okay, I know one of my elephants weighed 1,234 pounds. I do not know how much my Indian elephant weighed, but I know together they total 3,546 pounds. Okay, now, how do I find out how much the Indian elephant weighed? If I have one of my add-ins, remember me telling you, if you have one of your add-ins, you can find your other add-in by subtracting. So I'm going to subtract the 3,546 pounds, that's both of them together, minus what the African elephant weighed, which was 1,234 pounds. All right, that's going to tell me what this Indian elephant weighed. All right, now, so in my ones place, there's more on top. Do not stop. 6 minus 4 is 2. In my tens place, there's more on top. Do not stop. 4 minus 3 is 1. In my thousands place, there's more on top. Do not stop. 5 minus 2 is 3. And in my thousands place, there's more on top. Do not stop. 3 minus 1 is 2. So this tells me that the Indian elephant weighed 2,312 pounds. Because if I add 1,234 plus 2,312 together, that will give me 3,546. Now, we've answered the first part of our question. We found out that the Indian elephant weighed 2,312 pounds. Now, the second part of my question, how much more did the Indian elephant weigh than the African elephant? So I take the Indian elephant's weight, which is 2,312 pounds, minus from that 1,234 pounds. Right, in the ones place, there's more on the floor. So I go to 1, make it a 0. This 2 becomes 12. 4 from 12 is 8. In the tens place, there's more on the floor. I go next door. 3 becomes 2, 0 becomes 10. 3 from 10 leaves me with 7. In the hundreds place, 2 minus 2 is 0. And in the thousands place, there's more on top. 2 minus 1 is 1. So this tells me the Indian elephant weighed, and I'm just going to do a little abbreviation. The Indian elephant weighed 1,078 more pounds than the African elephant. And that's how you write your answer in a statement, because you're answering your question, how much more did the Indian elephant weigh than the African elephant? The Indian elephant weighed 1,078 more pounds than the African elephant. All right, let's go to number 3. Number 3, a bakery sold 20,456 sugar cookies and 8,245 peanut butter cookies. It sold 2,045 more chocolate chip cookies than it did peanut butter cookies. What was the total number of cookies sold? Now, let's see and break apart what our problem is asking us and what our problem is telling us to find out. Okay, we know we're looking for the total number of cookies sold. So I'm going to underline my question. Total means I what? I add. If I'm looking for a total of something, I'm adding it. All right, now what do I know? I know the number of sugar cookies that was sold. Sugar was 20,456. Okay, what else do I know? I know 8,245 cookies were peanut butter cookies. So PB 8,245. Now, I do not know how many chocolate chip cookies were sold, because it said that they sold 2,045 more chocolate chip than peanut butter. Well, if this is the amount of peanut butter they sold, 8,245, but they sold 2,045 more chocolate chips, I know the chocolate chip number is going to be greater than the number of peanut butter cookies that was sold. So to figure out how many chocolate chip cookies were sold, I have to take the number of peanut butter cookies that was sold and add to that the 2,045 more means add 2,045 more. Okay, so 5 plus 5 is 10. 0, carry 1. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 2 plus 0 is 2, and 8 plus 2 is 10. So this tells me the number of chocolate chip cookies that were sold. 10,290. But I'm not done with my problem, because now I know the total of chocolate chip cookies that were sold, the number of peanut butter cookies that were sold, and the number of sugar cookies that were sold. But to answer my question, the total number, I have to add all three types together. So take the sugar cookie total, 456. Add it to 8,245 plus the number of chocolate chip, which was 10,290. Add those together. 6 plus 5 plus 0 is 11. 1, carry 1. 9 and 1 is 10. Plus 5 is 15. Plus 4 is 19. 9, carry 1 more. 4 and 1 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. 8, 0 and 0 is 8. And 2 and 1 is 3. So we can say the bakery sold 38,991 cookies. And that's your answer, right? 38,911. Right? Number 4. In 1 year, a tennis shoe factory made 8,741 Nikes, 3,813 fewer Converse than Nikes, and 2,478 Under Armour tennis shoes. How many tennis shoes did the company make in 1 year altogether? All right, now, again, our question asks, how many tennis shoes did the company make in 1 year altogether? Underline it, my question. I see a clue word, altogether. That word means we add. All right, but now let's chunk through our word problem. Let's see what we are told. What are we given? We are given the number of Nike shoes that this tennis shoe factory made. Okay, so Nike made 8,741 shoes. Okay, it also tells me the number of Under Armour tennis shoes. So I'm going to abbreviate UA, and it sold 2,478 of those. But the Converse shoes is what I'm not told. But if I look closely to my Converse, it tells me that 3,813 fewer Converse than Nike were sold. Fewer. So fewer means less. So if I'm looking for something less, the operation I'm going to use is subtraction. So it tells me that they sold fewer Converse than they did Nike. So basically, guys, they're comparing Nike and Converse. Okay, I know that they sold 8,741 Nike shoes. And if I'm looking for fewer Converse, I have to subtract this 3,813. And let's see what we get. There's more on the floor. 3 is more than 1, so I go to 4, make it a 3. 1 becomes 11. Now, 3 from 11 is 8. Then I go to my tens place. It's 3 and 1. Well, 3 is on the top. Do not stop. 3 minus 1 is 2. Then I go to my hundreds place. 8 is more. It's on the floor. So I go to 8, make it a 7. And this 7 in the hundreds place becomes 17. And now I can subtract 8 from 17, which leaves me with 9. And then in the thousands place, it's more on top. Do not stop. 7 minus 3 is 4. So this tells me that the number of Converse that this company sold was 4,928. But I'm not done, because now I have to answer my question. How many tennis shoes did the company make in 1 year altogether? So I'm going to take my Nike total, 8,741, plus my Under Armour total, 2,478. 478 plus my Converse total, 4,928, and get a total. All right, 8 and 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. 7, carry 1. 7, 2, and 1 is 10, plus 4, 14. 4, carry 1. 9 and 1 is 10, plus 7 is 17, plus 4 is 21. So I write my 1 and I carry my 2. Now, 8 and 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 2 is 16. So now I have 16,147. So how many tennis shoes did the company make in 1 year altogether? So over here, we'll write it, our statement. The company made 16,147 shoes. And that's the end of the first page, right? So number 5, the 5th grade classes collected the following numbers of canned goods for the food bank. So it tells me the teacher, Davenport, collected 8,788 canned goods. Henderson, there's not a total there. So possibly that's something that I've got to figure out. All right, Reese collected 4,178 canned goods. Gillo collected 3,877 canned goods, and Wise created 4,300 canned goods. Now, let's look at letter A. Henderson collected 499 more canned goods than Davenport. So Henderson collected 499 more canned goods than Davenport. So this tells me a couple of things, okay? I know what Davenport's collection of canned goods were, but it tells me that Henderson collected 499 more than Davenport. More means we've got to add to find Henderson's total. So I have to take Davenport's total, 8,788, and add to it the 499. 9 and 8, 17. 7, carry 1. 9 and 1 is 10, plus 8 is 18, carry 1. 7 and 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. 2, carry 1, and 8 and 1 is 9. So this is Henderson's total, 9,287. So let's say Henderson collected 9,287 canned goods. Okay. Letter B. How many canned goods did the entire 5th grade collect? Entire means everyone in 5th grade. What is the total that they collected all together? So guys, I'm going to kind of break this up. I'm going to add Davenport and Henderson's total together. 8,788 plus 9,287. Because these are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 numbers we have to add, and we don't have a set way to add these numbers as long as we add all 5 numbers together. All right, so 8 and 7 is 15, carry 1. 16 and 1 is 17, carry 1. 7 and 1 is 8 and 2 is 10, 0, carry 1. 9 and 1 is 10 plus 8 is 18. So out of these two, that is 18,075. Now, I'm going to take this 18,075 and add to it Reese's total, 4,178, plus Gillo's total, 3,877, plus Wise's total, 4,300. All right, so now let's add 8 and 5 is 13, plus 7 is 20. 0, carry 2. 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 21, plus 2 more is 23. 3, carry 2. 8 and 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 4, carry 1. 8 and 1 is 9, plus 4 is 13, plus 3 is 16, plus 4 is 20. So 0, carry 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So we can say, to answer question B, how many canned goods did the entire 5th grade collect? So we will say 5th grade collected 30,430 canned goods. So guys, you have to look at what your word problem is giving you, what it's giving you, and then go from there. Number 6, the snack lady sold bags of cookies. 4,517 bags were chocolate. 1,284 bags were vanilla. How many bags of cookies did she sell in all? So here's my question. How many bags of cookies did she sell in all? I see a clue word. In all means we add. So we take the number of chocolate cookies she sold and add to it the number of bags of vanilla cookies that were sold. Get a total. 7 and 4 is 11. 1, carry 1. 8, 1 and 1 is 10. 0, carry 1. 5 and 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And then 4 and 1 is 5. So we can say the snack lady sold 5,801 bags of cookies. Okay, the snack lady sold 5,801 bags of cookies. My pen is trying to go out. All right, so let's look at number 7. The feed store sold 400,109 bags of feed on Monday. The store needed to sell a total of 753,865 bags of feed to make their goal. How many more feed bags need to be sold for the store to make their goal by Tuesday? Okay, so here's my question. How many more? I know when I see those words, how many more, that means I am subtracting. Now, their goal was 753,865. So take that whole amount. Okay, they've already sold 400,109 bags of feed. So now we're going to find that difference. Okay, again, in the ones place, it's more on the floor. So we go to 6 and make it 5. This 5 in the ones place becomes 15. Now I can take 9 from 15, and that leaves me with 6. In the tens place, there's more on top. 5 minus 0 is 5. In the hundreds place, there's more on top. 8 minus 1 is 7. In the thousands place, there's more on top. 3 minus 0 is 3. In the 10,000s place, there's more on top. 5 minus 0 is 5. And in the 100,000s place, there's more on top. So 7 minus 4 is 3. So to answer our question, how many more feed bags need to be sold for the store to make their goal by Tuesday? Let's say the store needs to sell 353,756 more bags of feed. Okay, good job. So we were told what they had sold, we were told their goal, and then we had to subtract to find the difference. All right, number 8, a case of juice contains 3,244 bottles of juice. 877 of the bottles are apple. So how many bottles are not apple? So that's our question we're figuring out. So if we know that there are 3,244 and 877 of them are apple, then to find out how many were not apple, we have to subtract 3,244 minus 877 and get that total. Okay, in the ones place, more on the floor. We go next door to the 4 in the tens place, make it 3 in the 4 in the ones place, becomes 14. So now I can take 7 from 14, that leaves me with 7. In the tens place, there's more on the floor. Go to hundreds place, 2 becomes 1, 3 becomes 13, 7 from 13 is 6. In the hundreds place, more on the floor, go to 3 and make it a 2. This 1 becomes 11, 8 from 11 is 3, and then we're going to simply bring our 2 down. That's in the thousands place. So let's answer our question. How many bottles are not apple? So 2,367 juices are not apple. Okay, so guys, you see on this particular problem, it told us the number of juice bottles there were. It told us the number that were apple. We had to subtract to figure out what was left that were not apple. So as you can see on our study guide, we had to basically perform more than one step in order to solve these problems. But again, I want you guys to take your word problems, read them carefully, and then decipher, like figure out what am I told, what am I not told, and then if there's more than one step, then you have to perform that step before you can actually figure out what your final answer is. Again, happy learning, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, and I'll get back in touch with you. Thank you.